Have you ever dreamed of speaking English fluently with the confidence and rhythm of a native speaker? Maybe you've spent hours with grammar books and vocabulary lists, but still feel like something is missing. Well, what if I told you there's a powerful, engaging, and surprisingly simple technique that could transform your English skills? It's called shadowing, and combined with reading, it's a game changer. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll have a step-by-step guide to mastering this method and unlocking a new level of English fluency. So what exactly is shadowing? Imagine you're walking behind someone and trying to copy their every step, staying right in their shadow. That's the basic idea. In language learning, shadowing means you listen to a native speaker and repeat what they say in real time, or with a very slight delay. You're literally trying to become their vocal shadow. It's not about just repeating words. It's about mimicking their pronunciation, intonation, rhythm, and even the emotional tone of their speech. It sounds intense, right? It is, but that's why it's so effective. Think about how we learned our first language as kids. We didn't sit down with textbooks. We listened, we mimicked, and we absorbed the sounds and patterns around us. Shadowing taps into this natural learning process. It directly trains the muscles in your mouth to produce English sounds correctly, something that silent reading or grammar drills just can't do. You're building muscle memory for speaking, making your pronunciation more automatic and natural over time. One of the biggest hurdles for English learners is the rhythm and melody of the language, often called prosody. This includes stress, intonation, and timing. Where do native speakers pause? Which words do they emphasize? Which syllables are long, and which are short? These are the subtle cues that make speech sound natural. Shadowing is the ultimate workout for your ears and mouth to get in sync with this English music. When you shadow, you're not just learning words. You're learning how to deliver them like a native. Now, let's talk about the incredible benefits. First, your pronunciation will improve dramatically. By constantly imitating a native speaker, you'll start to correct those little pronunciation mistakes you didn't even know you were making. Your accent will soften, and your speech will become clearer and easier for others to understand. Second, your listening skills will go through the roof. Shadowing forces you to listen actively and intensely. You have to catch every sound, every nuance to be able to repeat it. This trains your brain to process spoken English faster and more accurately. Soon you'll find yourself understanding fast-talking native speakers in movies or conversations much more easily. Third, your speaking fluency will get a huge boost. Shadowing helps bridge the gap between thinking and speaking. It reduces hesitation because you're practicing the physical act of speaking continuously. Words and phrases start to flow more smoothly, and you'll be able to construct sentences more spontaneously in real conversations. It's like a warm-up for your brain before the main event. And finally, it expands your vocabulary and grammar in a very practical way. You're not just memorizing words from a list. You're learning them in context with their correct usage and pronunciation. You're absorbing sentence structures and natural phrasing without even consciously trying. These phrases will then pop into your head when you need them in a real conversation. So how do you actually do it? Let's break it down into a simple step-by-step process. Step 1 is to choose the right material. This is crucial. You want to find audio or video content that is interesting to you. If you're bored, you won't stick with it. It should be at a level that's slightly challenging but not impossible. You should be able to understand about 70 to 80% of it. Good sources include podcasts, audiobooks, TED Talks, interviews, or even scenes from your favorite TV shows. It's also really important to have a transcript. We'll get to why in a moment. Step 2 is the first listen. Just listen to the audio once without doing anything else. The goal here is to get the general idea of the content. What's the topic? What's the speaker's tone? Don't worry if you don't understand every single word. Just relax and listen. Step 3 is where the reading comes in. Read the transcript while listening to the audio again. This time, pay close attention to the connection between the written words and the spoken sounds. Notice how words are linked together, which sounds are dropped, and which words are stressed. Look up any new vocabulary or phrases that seem important. This is your analysis phase. Now for the fun part, step 4. Start shadowing. There are a few ways to approach this. For beginners. I recommend unison shadowing. Play the audio and try to speak at the exact same time as the speaker, using the transcript as a guide. Don't worry about being perfect. Just try to keep up. It will feel awkward at first, but that's a good sign. It means you're pushing your boundaries. Do this with a short segment, maybe 30 seconds to a minute, and repeat it several times. As you get more comfortable, you can move on to lagging shadowing. This is where you repeat what the speaker says with a 1 or 2 second delay, like an echo. This is more challenging because you have to rely more on your listening and memory. Initially, you can still use the transcript, but the ultimate goal is to do it without any text at all. This is pure listening and speaking practice. Step 5 is to record yourself. I know, nobody likes hearing their own voice, but this is the single most important step for improvement. Record yourself shadowing a passage, then listen back and compare it to the original audio. Are you matching the intonation? Is your rhythm similar? Are there any specific sounds you're struggling with? This self-correction is where the real magic happens. It makes you aware of your weaknesses so you can focus on improving them. And step 6, the final step, is to be consistent. Shadowing isn't a one-time trick, it's a habit. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day can make a massive difference over a few weeks and months. Find a time that works for you, whether it's during your morning commute, while you're making dinner, or before you go to bed. Make it a non-negotiable part of your English learning routine. Let's talk about some common challenges. You might feel overwhelmed at first. The speaker is too fast. That's totally normal. Most audio players and YouTube have a speed control function. Don't be afraid to slow the audio down to 0.75x speed. It's better to shadow slowly and accurately than to rush and mumble. As you improve, you can gradually increase the speed back to normal. Another challenge is finding the right materials. My advice is to build a small library of go-to sources. Subscribe to a podcast you love, bookmark a YouTube channel with clear speakers, or buy an audiobook of a story you enjoy. Having materials ready to go removes one more barrier to practicing every day. Remember, the goal of shadowing isn't perfect, word-for-word repetition. The goal is to capture the essence of the speech, the flow, the rhythm, the intonation. It's about training your mouth and ears to work together in a new language. It's about building the physical and mental pathways to fluency. So to recap, find interesting material with a transcript. Listen for comprehension. Read and listen to analyze. Start shadowing first in unison and then with a delay. Record yourself to track your progress. And most importantly, do it consistently. This method combines active listening, reading, and speaking into one supercharged exercise. It will push you out of your comfort zone, but the results are absolutely worth it. You'll not only sound more natural, but you'll also feel more confident in your ability to communicate in English. So, are you ready to give it a try? Find a short audio clip right after this video and start your shadowing journey. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this guide helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tips on how to master English. Let me know in the comments what material you're going to use for your first shadowing session. See you in the next video.